Hi everyone, Michael Balesta with you. Time to recap the Browns and Cavaliers games thanks to the NFL, Browns, and NBA apps. The Cleveland Browns were able to notch their seventh win of the year by beating the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 26-18 in front of their own fans for the home finale of 2018. Both teams ended up punting on their first two series, but eventually the game resembled the first meeting in Cincinnati November 25th. In that encounter, the Browns scored numerous touchdowns, then the Bengals would come back to make the game respectable at the end. The fifth possession of the game started with Cleveland in possession from their own 26 with more than 12 minutes elapsed in the first quarter. Following an incompletion, running back Nick Chubb picked up 22 yards. He and wide receiver Jarvis Landry combined to run for 13 yards on the next two plays. Then, tight end David Njoku hauled in a 4-yard reception on the final play of the quarter. Rashard Higgins would catch an 11-yard pass on 2nd and 6 at the Cincinnati 35. Then Mayfield threw to him for 4 more. After quarterback Baker Mayfield ran for a yard, Duke Johnson came up a yard short on 3rd and 5. Cleveland sensed an opportunity on 4th down, and Mayfield found Landry to set up goal to go at the 9. Wisely, the Browns kept the ball on the ground by giving Chubb the ball twice to set up 3rd down at the 3. The 13-play, 74-yard drive was completed when Baker found Njoku in the end zone for the game's first points. Greg Joseph was able to convert the extra point, and Cleveland used 7 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock to lead 7-0 with just over 10 minutes left until halftime. Time and time again, the Browns defense was able to get off the field, especially in the first half. Larry Ogunjobi, Jannard Avery, and Joe Schobert each recorded a sack in this game. Denzel Ward led the team in tackles at 5. The home team got their hands on the ball for the 4th time following a 3-and-out and wasted no time. Mayfield handed the ball to Antonio Callaway, who pitched to Landry. Jarvis threw the ball deep to Brashad Perriman, and 63 yards later, the Browns were back in the red zone at the Bengals' 7-yard line. Nick Chubb ran for 6 yards to set up 2nd and goal. Mayfield then found Darren Fells from a yard out for Cleveland's second touchdown. Joseph this time kicked the ball off the right upright, and the lead was 13-0 with more than 7 minutes left in the second quarter. The defense yielded a first down by penalty by Ward, but it did not prove costly as the Browns forced another punt and embarked on another long scoring drive. Starting from the 20, Mayfield completed a pass to Fells for 9 yards. Then Chubb was able to pick up 2 more for a first down. Mayfield then spotted Perriman for a baker's dozen to the Cleveland 44. Nick scampered for 20 more yards against a weary defense. Before the 2-minute warning, Johnson took the snap and gained 7 inside the Cincinnati 30. By this point, the Browns made sure to bleed the clock to leave the Bengals very little time left in the first half. Duke toted the rock for 5 more yards. After a pause in the action, Higgins caught a 6-yard pass to the 18, but the drive would stall as Carlos Dunlap and Nick Vigil had seen enough of Chubb as they recorded a 2-yard tackle for loss. Darqueze Dennard was in position to tackle Johnson after a 1-yard catch to force a field goal attempt by Joseph. Greg was able to finish the 10-play, 4-minute, and 45-second drive by driving the ball through the uprights from 37 with just 10 seconds left. Cincinnati quarterback Jeff Driscoll took a knee to close the first 30 minutes of play. The Bengals got the ball to start the third quarter after Emmanuel Ogbah and Jabril Peppers tackled Driscoll to limit him to 2 yards. Larry Ogunjobi stuffed Joe Mixon in the backfield for a loss of 4 yards. The Browns defense forced Cincinnati into a 3rd and 17 situation, but Jeff found an open Cody Core for 27 yards and a new set of downs. Mixon would get the ball in the next 2 plays with a catch as well as a run, and the visiting team was at the Cleveland 40. But the defense stiffened. Jannard Avery tackled Mixon for a 3-yard loss, and a false start penalty on 2nd down in essence put a stop to the drive. With the Browns up 16-0, the offense was able to sustain another time-consuming drive. Very encouraging to see because down the road, Cleveland hopes to be playing meaningful December games in future years where they will need to grind out games and impose their will on the opposition, particularly in less than ideal weather conditions. Mayfield tossed the ball to Higgins on first down from their own 13 to start the drive. Chubb gained 3 on the ensuing play before Baker found Landry for 19 on 3rd and 2 to extend the possession. The Browns went back to the air as Mayfield went to Johnson via a shovel pass. Then Chubb punished the Cincinnati defense for 15 more yards into plus territory at the 38. Dontrell Hilliard got his lone touch of the ball as he received a pass for a gain of 15. With a fresh set of downs, Chubb added 6 more rushing yards before an incomplete pass by Mayfield. The quarterback would find Richard Higgins for a 17-yard touchdown, and Joseph atoned for a missed extra point earlier to make it 23-0 with less than 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Cincinnati would get into rhythm on their second offensive series of the second half as Alex Erickson returned the ensuing kickoff to the Bengals' 31. Methodically, Cincinnati was able to march down the field as C.J. Usama, Core, Mixon, and Erickson got a hold of the football, but Jabril Peppers tackled Giovanni Bernard on 2nd and 10 from the Cleveland 21. Then Ogunjobi sacked Driscoll on 3rd and 14 to force Randy Bullock into a 51-yard field goal, which he made on the first play of the fourth quarter. The ball control was the theme for the Browns offense. Nick gained 3 following a touchback. Then Fells was on the receiving end for 8 yards. After Mayfield unsuccessfully went to Callaway, Chubb was held to a catch of a yard, forcing 3rd and 9. This time Baker ran for the first down marker and picked up 10 to maintain the possession. He then went to Jarvis for 8 and Johnson for another 17. With the clock running and Cleveland at the opposition's 28, I was very surprised to see them continue to throw with the clock moving because incompletions stopped the clock, which is what happened on first down. But 2 plays later, Baker was able to move the sticks on 3rd and 8, and Cincinnati lost their second timeout as they challenged the spot of the ball unsuccessfully. Cleveland got a holding penalty from Greg Robinson on first down, and then the next 2 passes were incomplete before Landry picked up 14, but not quite enough for a first down. Still, Joseph made the score 26-3 thanks to his 31-yard kick with less than half a quarter left in the game. Cleveland at this point took their foot off the gas pedal as the defense gave up big plays. Driscoll went to Erickson for 28 on the second play of the drive, then Mixon gained 16. 2 plays later, Denzel Ward got hurt trying to tackle Usama after the latter gained 12. C.J. Usama then caught a 14-yard touchdown to narrow the Browns' lead to 16 with less than 5 minutes left. Cleveland tried to use more clock as Cincinnati did not try an onside kick. Chubb got carries on 1st and 2nd down before Mayfield threw incomplete to Landry. Then things tightened up as Britton Colquitt's punt was blocked by Clayton Fajetlem, and the Bengals were in prime position at the Browns' 23. Driscoll found Usama for 14 to set up goal to go, and on 2nd down, John Ross was on the receiving end of a touchdown. It got more nervy when Driscoll completed the ball to Cody Core, making it a 1-possession game with about 3 minutes remaining. The offense would come to the rescue after Cincinnati chose to kick the ball deep again. Callaway returned the ball to the Cleveland 16. After the Georgia running back ran for 4, the Browns were aided by a defensive holding penalty. Chubb gained 6 on the next play. The play clock forced the home team to snap the ball on 2nd and 4 at the Cleveland 31 just before the 2-minute warning. It would be the play to ice the game as Mayfield was successful in completing to Njoku, who ran for 66 yards. Mayfield took 3 kneel downs in the last minute and 47 seconds to secure the win. The Ravens were winners this past week against the Chargers Saturday night, while Pittsburgh lost in New Orleans Sunday. In the division standings, there is a new leader with 1 week remaining in the regular season. Baltimore holds the top spot at 9-6, followed by the 8-6-1 Steelers, then the Browns at 7-7-1, and 6-9 Bengals. Cleveland are assured of not finishing last in the AFC North, regardless of what happens in Week 17, but they hope to finish with their first winning record since 2007, should they go into Baltimore this Sunday and come out with a victory. Cincinnati will be in Pittsburgh on the same day. The final games of the regular season involving these divisional teams will kick off at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. If Cleveland wins and Pittsburgh wins, the Steelers get in as AFC North winners. If Baltimore wins, the division crown is theirs. So there is a lot of drama left to be played out. In the American Football Conference, the Chiefs lead the way at 11-4. The Patriots and Texans are both 10-5. Then the Ravens as the 4 seed. The Chargers are 11-4 in the first wild card spot, and the Colts and Titans, both 9-6, will face each other in Nashville for the right to be the 6th seed. Over in the National Football Conference, the Saints are 13-2, while the Rams are 12-3. The Bears are third at 11-4. Cowboys hold a 9-6 record, the same mark as Seattle, who sits in the 5th position. The Vikings are 8-6-1, with the Eagles on the outside looking in at 8-7. Turning to basketball, the Cavaliers took several punches from the Pacers Tuesday and were able to respond by staying close at the end of each quarter, ultimately getting a hard-fought win in Indianapolis. With Cleveland down 90 to 86, Rodney Hood made a jump shot with 57.6 seconds left to cut the lead to 2. After Larry Nance Jr. committed a foul, Victor Oladipo made 1 of 2 from the foul line. It didn't look good when Hood missed a game-tying 3, but Oladipo could not hit a jump shot on the other end, and the Cavs got the ball back with less than 20 seconds left. Alec Burks put the ball in for a quick 2-point basket to make the margin 1. Victor surprisingly missed 2 free throws, and Cleveland called for time with 8.9 seconds left. Hood missed a jump shot, but Nance picked up the rebound and scored at the buzzer to win the game 92-91. Nance finished with 15 points and 6 rebounds, while Hood was the leading scorer with 17. Domantas Sabonis led Indiana with 17 points. The Cavaliers went right back to work Wednesday, but after a great first half, the Hornets rallied and pulled away in the second half for a 110-99 win. Charlotte scored 41 points in the third quarter to propel them, and they had a 51-35 rebounding edge. The Hornets made 51% of their shots from the field. Jordan Clarkson had 20 points, while Nance Jr. posted another double-double with 10 and 15. Jaron Blossomgame recorded 15 points in 23 minutes as he went 6 for 8. Zeddy Osman, Colin Sexton, and Hood were responsible for 36 Cavaliers points, but no victory as Kemba Walker starred for the host with 30 points. Cleveland trailed wire to wire Friday night in a 126-110 loss in Toronto. Clarkson, like 2 nights before, finished with 20 points. Nance did not have a problem scoring, and rebounding-wise, reached double figures in said categories. Sexton got 17 points, but fouled out after 28 minutes of playing time. The rebounding margin was much closer than in Charlotte, but the Raptors picked up 10 steals and forced 12 Cavalier turnovers overall. Cleveland did better than their opponents from behind the arc, but it was a second straight defeat for Cleveland. The Cavaliers stayed close for 2.5 quarters before the Bulls pulled away for a 112-92 win on Sunday night. Cleveland was held to 15 in the third and 18 in the final 12 minutes, so tough sledding when the ball is not going through the hoop. Chicago had a 26-11 advantage in assists and shot 55% for the game. Second-year player Larry Markkanen led Chicago with 31 points as he went 11 for 18 from the field. Larry Nance Jr. may not have had the same numbers on the boards like previous games, but led the Cavs in scoring with 20 in almost 33 minutes. Osman and Clarkson each had 17. Rodney Hood was sidelined due to injury, so that didn't help matters. The 8-26 Cavaliers will get a chance to rest today and tomorrow before resuming in Memphis at 8 p.m. Eastern Time against the 17-16 Grizzlies. The road trip continues against the Miami Heat Friday, also at 8 o'clock. Cleveland will be right back in action Saturday against the Atlanta Hawks at 7:30 before they will get 3 days of time off the court. Sadly, the aforementioned record puts the Cavs at the bottom of the table in the Eastern Conference, 8.5 games adrift of the final playoff spot. As it stands following Sunday's fixtures, the Raptors, Bucks, Pacers, 76ers, Celtics, Hornets, Heat, and Pistons are the top 8. Out west, the Nuggets, Warriors, Thunder, Lakers, Trailblazers, Clippers, Kings, and Rockets hold the current positions in the race for the playoffs. Just a reminder that the North Texas Browns backers will be back for a final time this season at Fox & Hound in Dallas this Sunday. Note the kickoff time as the game has been moved to 3:25 p.m. Central Time. Fox & Hound is located on Midway, not far from the Bush Tollway, so please be sure to bring your family and friends. As usual, there were lots of people that came out to watch during the Cincinnati game on Sunday, so thank you for coming out and supporting the Cleveland Browns. Also, please check out the Facebook group North Texas Browns Backers page and hit the like button for the latest updates there. There are many Browns Backers Club locations around the Metroplex, so please search to find the Browns Backers Club closest to you, or do an internet search to find a location if you are outside of North Texas. The text of this blog is available at http://www.mjbalesta2blog.wordpress.com. I'm on Twitter at MJB, as in boy, OLESTA 2, as in the number 2, and on Facebook at Michael Balesta. Archive videos on YouTube can be found by searching Michael Balester Roman numeral 2. God bless, have a great week, and have a very Merry Christmas. Bye for now.